Comparing the acceleration of a car in different cases. What is the position time graph? Well, it represents how far an object has moved from its initial position at a specific period of time. What is the velocity time graph? Indicates the speed and direction in which an object travels in a specific moment. What is the acceleration time graph? Represents the change in velocity of an object in a given time interval. So in this case, first case, a car is making a change in its position for a certain period of time. We can see that here it started at a position of 3 meters. In 6.1 seconds, it ended at a position of 64.3 meters. Since it has no acceleration at all, the velocity of the car remains constant at 10 meters per second. The acceleration time graph remains in the x-axis, which represents the time in seconds, because as we mentioned before, it has no acceleration. In this second case, we have the same car having a change in a position over a certain period of time. It started at a position of 2 meters. The velocity time graph is different because a car does have a constant acceleration of 1 meter per second, which results in an increase of the velocity that starts at 10 meters per second. After 2.1 seconds, it increased 14.9 meters per second. Due to the acceleration, with the presence of the acceleration, we can see that the acceleration time graph does touch the y-axis in a value of 1. So in this last case, we can see the same car making a change in its position over a certain period of time, but here starting at a position of 1 meter. The car was able to travel 407 meters in 24 seconds, since it has an acceleration of 1 meter per second squared, which is represented with the same acceleration time graph of the second case. As time passes, it gradually increases the velocity of 5.50 meters per second. That's why we can see on the velocity time graph that in 3.35 seconds, it ended at a velocity of 29.02 meters per second due to the acceleration. So here we have an example where we are going to calculate the position and velocity of the car of the case 3 on the time 8. Here, to calculate the position, we have to use the position time equation for the car. So the initial position, as we saw, is 1 meter. The initial velocity is 5.15 meters per second, and the acceleration is 1 meter per second squared. Here we have it represented in the equation. So here we substitute the t of time for the 8 seconds. We make the equation. It will be 1 plus 44 plus 64. That will give us a position of 109 meters. The velocity will be initial velocity plus the acceleration times the time. The initial velocity will be 5.50 meters per second plus the acceleration that will be 1 times the time 8. And we make the equation 5.50 plus 8, it will have a result of 13.5 meters per second velocity. Thank you for watching.